Okay, Pat, we've talked about a little bit about the impact of moving and dislocation, displacement, whatever you want to call it, upon seniors, because it's a little bit different when we're moving when we're 60, 70, 80 years old than it is when we're 45 or 19. And a lot of seniors go through a lot of physical ailments by the time they get a certain age, and have a lot of medical costs, etc., associated with that. And then when a move gets dropped on them on top of that, especially a sudden no-cause eviction or the sale of the property or a rent increase, then it's very, very demanding, in addition to the moving costs every time you have to move. And you've been remarkable in my mind because of so many moves, and in a very short period of time. I'd say 6 moves in 5 years, or 5 moves in 6 years, something like that.
Something like that.
Okay.
I know. I keep trying to pay my rent. I try and try.
Right. They end up turning folks into a vagabond, running around like a gypsy, right, trying to just have a roof over their head. So in your situation, I know that you've been dealing with quite a few medical challenges over the years. What kind of impact would you say that's had, moving so many times, having to move so many times, has had just on your physical well-being and et cetera?
Well, I just know as a senior, I'm 73, and as a disabled person, it's overwhelming. And that no, we are not able to just pick up and pack up, that it took several months to pack. I had to have someone come in and help me physically because I'm not able to lift things. And I've had a recent car, I was rear-ended 3 years ago, and so having to pick up and move because I needed to be in a more handicap-assisted apartment, I had to hire people, I had to borrow some money, and then you have to pay a mover, and every time you move, it's between $400 and $800. And then on top of that is unpacking, and you're dealing many times with seniors that are not able to lift things. And so when someone puts a note on their door and says you have to leave in 90 days with no place to go, with no money to move, because if they don't move their furniture out, it will be moved to the street. To the street. And so it puts an extreme pressure on the seniors, on the disabled, and adding just the regular people like me that I'm being priced out of where I'm living. And sometimes when the people come and they talk to me and they have to move, they are beyond themselves. They're beyond grief, and they can't understand why Oregon is letting investors move in and kick people out of, that's their home. They may not own that home, but it's their home. They live there 15, 20 years. Why are people kicking them out basically to the street? And the resources, there aren't any resources to move. There aren't any resources to have to pack up. And so if you're being displaced by a 90-day eviction notice, which of course when you go to the next place, if you can find an apartment, you have to sign that paper that you were evicted. And you have to explain that. And if they have one renter for that apartment that has no eviction and the person who was evicted, you may not be able to get an apartment because of the eviction. So I think it's only fair that if you're going to kick out seniors, disabled, low-income people, or middle-income people, because I could be kicked to the curb too at any time, then there needs to be money to help with that move over to the next place. And there has to be money to hire somebody to help you find a new place. We're Oregon, we're Portland, we don't kick people to the curb. Maybe in other states they kick them to the curb, maybe in California they're kicked to the curb. But I think we need to give a message to the investors. If you're going to kick people out of their homes so you can make a buck, then you need to put the money up for them to move, because we are Oregon. We take care of our own.